You're watching Sunday Sound Off with Frank Boal.
Welcome back to Sunday Sound Off. Our first hot topic of the night. The Chiefs did not give Eric Berry a long-term contract. Good move or bad move? Cody, you're up.
I think it's simple to look at it and just be like, oh, it's a bad move. They missing one of their best players. But let's face it, that Eric Berry would cost a lot of money. And the Chiefs are stuck in a situation to question his health and ask him to possibly take out an insurance policy for that health. I think the Chiefs made the right decision, waiting this thing out, waiting out the franchise tag, like maybe they could have done with Alex Smith instead of Justin Houston. So for me, the Eric Berry deal right now, I think they made the safe call waiting this thing out.
Blair?
Right business decision. We'll see how it impacts the locker room. I said on this show last week that I thought it was going to get done because Clark Hunt said it was going to get done, and others in Eric Berry thought it was going to get done, and Chiefs teammates emphasized just how important Eric Berry is in that locker room, and the fact that it didn't get done means this is it's football in any pro sports. It could be cold business decisions are made, but what a contrast. You remember when training camp started last year, the opening press conference was Eric Berry and the triumphant return, and this year there's a little bit of sour note when Chiefs camp starts if Eric Berry's not there.
Sharon, good or bad move?
Well, I think it's the right move. I think it's bad. It's bad for PR, but I think it's bad for PR right now. It's good in the long run. Look, the bottom line is everybody loves their hero and wants their hero signed, and nobody cares how much it costs because they're not writing the check, and you're a fan. You don't have to care about that. But just as everybody was thrilled when Alex Gordon's contract was signed, now that he's batting $2 and there's 3 more years of it, people are wondering whether or not he'll be able to stay healthy or be able to play. No one's really enamored with that contract. The big parade that was thrown for getting that one done is now forgotten, and we talk about whether the Royals are over or underachieving. It'll be no different with Eric Berry. If the Chiefs win with Eric Berry, everyone will be thrilled. If they win without him, everybody will be thrilled. And $10 million a year for a safety that doesn't turn the ball over is not good business. I think this is the right football move, and I think it's as simple as that.
Here's our second hot topic of the evening. Would you want to be MU's new athletic director now with everything that's going on campus and even off campus down there? Blair, what do you think?
Well, somebody's going to want to be Missouri's athletic director. They're going to have no shortage of candidates for this job. I don't know who's going to get it. The interim athletic director is Ren Baker. I think would make a good athletic director at Mizzou. Whit Babcock's at Virginia Tech, spent 5 years as an assistant athletic director at Missouri. There'll be quality candidates, but what a stunning development it was to see Mack Rhoades leave and have it leak out on the day that Missouri was meeting the media at SEC Media Days in Alabama last week. Unfortunate timing. He hired a football coach. He fired a baseball coach. He had to deal with the football protests and softball team protests. He had pretty active 15-month tenure, but we were all surprised by the news that he was leaving, especially to Baylor.
Soren?
For 15 months, Mack Rhoades came off like the putz at the party who won't shut up. Every time he opened his mouth, I cringed. I thought his press conference and handling the Odom hiring was just brutal. A guy who didn't understand when comedy's not working, who just goes, oh, I'm going to floor it and go even faster into comedy. I think it's a great job at Missouri, and I think Rhoades was put in a difficult decision, but I think it's best that he moves on. You're hearing all kinds of people from Missouri, like Jeremy Maclin, come out and say, hey, we need a real MU guy. Would I want this job? Hell yes, I'd want this job. It's a great job. Number one, it pays over $500,000, $600,000 a year. Who wouldn't want that job, right? There's only a few people who wouldn't want that kind of paycheck. You're the only major state university in the state. No offense to Missouri State or any of the other schools. You're the only big boy. You're the only one playing BCS caliber football. That makes it a great job. And I think Missouri has long had this too low view of themselves. I mean, this is a school that should be making it a priority to be in the Final Four. They should be making it a priority to win division titles and occasionally conference championships in football. There is no reason for this to not be one of the best programs in the entire country. And yes, they should line up because you can't do any worse than it's been done over the last 3, 4, 5 years at Missouri.
Cody?
I think if any time there is to take this job, of course it's now. And Missouri's a good job anyway. But just like Mack Rhoades leaving for Baylor, he can't do worse than Baylor has done the last year. Nobody could do worse at Missouri right now than Mack Rhoades just did. You are a savior, or it is at least better, no matter what job you do over Mack Rhoades. So in an instant, you take this job because the only place to go from now is up. That's all. Like, there's nowhere else. You don't want to be the third baseman that follows George Brett. You want to be, any other player that follows the 2005 Royals. If you're any other guy, that you're great. You're in perfect shape to be in a good position if you're Mac Rhodes not Mac Rhodes, if you're replacing Mac Rhodes, because it simply just doesn't get any worse.
All right, listen, we got about 10 seconds each on this, guys. Seren, greatest final round of British Open?
Look, I'm no golf expert. It was certainly some of the best television I've seen. If Tom Watson could have finished it off a couple of years, that would have been better, but maybe that's because I'm a KC guy. But I'll say it's the best I've ever seen.
Cody?
Yes. Phil should have shot a 30 in the front nine. He shot a 65 on the final day and lost to a guy shooting a majors final round with Johnny Miller. I'd say yes, it was.
Blair?
Yes, it was. When you said Hendrik had not won a major, he was the first Swedish golfer, Stenstrom, to win a major. I was surprised that Jasper Parnevik had never won a major.
All right. We'll be back with some final thoughts right after this.